Hey y'all, I am back, honey, and I want us to talk a little bit more about traitors. Okay, so much conversation has been had since our girl Candiace Dillard Bassett ended up being banished, child, from the castle. Okay, there's some things we got to talk about. She does have a sit down with the Traitors podcast, and she talks about a few things. Also, Lisa Rinna had something to say over there on RHAP, and it was very interesting. And she kind of said something that I've been saying for a minute as it pertains to Rob telling Colton about her being a traitor, or at least Rob being a traitor, or something of that sort. Lisa kind of touches on that, just a little piece, and I want us to check it out. I also want us to get into a few of the comments of what people had to say about the latest episode. It has been so much conversation about Candiace playing a poor game versus Candiace playing a great game versus she did herself in with a throwaway vote. No, and I'm going to still stand by what I said. I don't think Candiace did herself in with a throwaway vote. I think she may have done herself in when she got rid of Colton, because she did not know that Colton was saying her name. And let's be very clear as well, as I've said in my review. If you have not watched it, go on over there and check it out, okay? But also, as I've said in my review, the reason a lot of them voted for Candiace was not because of the throwaway vote. They used that throwaway vote as an excuse because, be clear, Rob also used a throwaway vote at once upon a time when he said he voted for Lisa, as well as Dorinda towards Maura. These people voted for Candiace because they do not think for themselves and they used Colton's brain. Colton had already said Candiace's name, and what happened? Rob rounded up his dagger 6. They were already thinking it because Colton put it out there and Rob confirmed it. Because Rob confirmed it, that is the reason why. Not the throwaway vote, but because she kicked Colton out. That's what I think. I kind of feel like she should have likely recruited Colton. Instead of just getting rid of Colton, I think she should have recruited Colton, possibly, or either recruited Johnny or Tara, maybe, or she could have recruited Mark. I just think she should have done a recruiting. She should have did a recruiting instead of doing a murder. And when I tell you, I understand people are upset with Rob. I know people are saying he did not have a great game. Amongst this cast, okay, Rob is doing a pretty decent job in my personal. And he played the shit out of Candiace up there in that turret by allowing her to make this decision pretty much all on her own, not cluing her in or anything. And it does irk me. It still irks me because, sir, you said you wasn't going to come after her. She has every right to kind of be disappointed in you because she thought that you guys were locked in. But for you not to tell her about Colton, like, listen, he was planning on getting her out, period. That was his goal. What's crazy is that Rob even told Lisa that Colton was on to her, which is so odd because you still was planning on getting Lisa out. So when Rob is sitting up here having Colton believe that you're my best friend in this game, you really weren't. Because if Lisa would have made the call to murder Colton that night at that dinner, oh well. It would have been the same way Rob reacted when Candiace decided to murder him the next day. So, child, ain't that something? That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know. And maybe this was going to be Rob's game plan the entire time. His game plan could have been, hey, I'm going to get them out at the end of the day. But since their names came up sooner, he was like, hey, let's go ahead and get it done sooner. That's what I'm thinking. So he probably put his game plan in effect much sooner than what he may have wanted to, since the names were coming up. But I'll let you guys argue about that down below in the comments. But real quick, I want to hop over here and I want us to get into what Lisa Rinna had to say about her being on. Well, of course, her being on the show, but the entire situation with Colton as well as Rob. So let's check this out.
Three of you were working so well together up until that point, and it really was amazing to see how well you were doing together as a team. But once he wrote your name down, did you and Candiace ever consider maybe the two of you going against him instead of trying to get Natalie out?
We did not. We didn't, because I have to say, I think we were a little clouded over our traitor family doing so well.
Yeah.
And I think that was our that was certainly my downfall, is that I didn't think, oh, we should go for Rob. Like, what are we doing? Like, it didn't, we didn't go there. We didn't go there. I think we were both a little thrown by it. Like, no, we got to keep the family together. And then look what happens. I mean, we're mothers, by the way. So I can see why we did it. Like, we were trying to keep the family together.
Lisa, how did it feel when Colton first came at you and threw your name out to then have him essentially be like, hey, you're a traitor. Keep me safe in the turret. I'll keep you safe at the round table. And just the whole Colton of it all. Can you
Let's
speak
get
to
into
more
this.
of that for us?
I can. I wasn't like, I was like, where's this coming from? Like, I think that when he came to me and was like this whole traitor turret thing, I was like, how would he know to do this? Where's he getting this? Like, is he doing it with somebody else already? Like, maybe is he doing it with Rob? Like, it threw me in a way where I was like, first of all, I don't trust him and I'm not going to give him 1 second of it. But I feel like, and maybe we'll get to the bottom of this at the reunion, I feel like Colton was being fed. I don't think Colton's that smart. I mean, I don't. I think somehow someone was feeding Colton and pushing him, giving him the names to push. That's my instinct.
Look at Rob in the corner. He was cheesing real hard, like, yeah, like real big cheese. So I don't know, but I remember saying this myself, that I felt like on that episode when he approached her, I said, I think Rob is giving him information. I think that they've had quite a few head nods as we've watched them on the show, a bit of eye contact. So I think they had a non-verbal communication that was going on to let each other know, this is what I think. Like, yeah, you in the right direction. Like when Rob had the dagger, right? Of course, Colton knew he got the dagger because they made a face at each other. And then Rob, of course, thought about it and said, hey, let me use these people as an alliance, as if he didn't already have an alliance with them already. I think Mark may have been a person he didn't have an alliance with, in my personal. And that's when he decided to let everybody know. And he's like, hey, just keep it on the low. Child, it's a mess. It's a mess, but let's keep going. This may be it. I want to hear what Rob was going to follow it up with real quick.
Lisa, I felt for you that it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation with this idea of, hey, you're Lisa, you be a housewife. How come you're not doing that? Because if you were doing those things, people would have said you're a traitor. And then because you were under the radar, people said, oh no, she must be a traitor.
I was damned if I did or damned if I didn't. It's so true. I came in with a bit of a target on my back just from being in the business for so long, right? Like, people had ideas, obviously, especially someone like Colton, who I don't think really knew who I was, but somehow said he knew who I was as a housewife. I'm not sure, but that was frustrating because there's really nothing I could have done. And I think it was smarter in the long run to be quiet and not be the housewife that people expect, because I would have gone sooner if I was that, I think.
Yeah, you ain't lying about that. You're not lying about that at all. But I do feel like Colton received some information from somebody. I do. I do. And I'm so glad that Lisa was the person to say it. And maybe people would believe it more, being that she was an actual cast member and stuff. So I don't want to hear nothing about no contracts or nothing down in the comments, okay? But anywho, that is what Lisa Rinna had to say. And now I want us to get into a few things that people are saying over on social media about the latest episode. So let us go ahead and check out the first thing here. So here's one where someone says, Rob said he wasn't going to come for Candiace at the round table. And I mean, he didn't. She came for him and set herself up. He didn't have to do a damn thing. He never rebutted with an accusation. He let her do all the work. Did he corroborate the other suspicions earlier in the day? Sure. But he didn't lie when he said he wouldn't come for her at the round table. Child, ain't that something? But I feel like he did. I don't care. He didn't have to come for her at the round table, but he still came for her. All right. You coming for another traitor in my personal is enough for me to believe that you are going to be coming for me. Because at this point, I'm like, are you trying to get rid of all of us as traitors, or are you trying to get rid of us as housewives and stuff? Like, what is it? And if, let's say he only went after Lisa because her name was coming up, Well, he was going to go after Candiace too because her name was coming up. And who brought both of the names to the front? Colton. And I feel like Candiace sat at that round table and she hit the nail on the head when she said Colton was acting like Rob's beard, and Rob may have been giving this man information for him to bring to the front and for everybody else to vote on. Yes, I'm sorry. That's what that looked like for sure. Okay, so Rob definitely played a really good snake game, being the snake man that he is. Okay, if you watch Love Island, then you're aware. He played a really good game with that, of slithering throughout the house and allowing Colton to kind of do his bidding just a bit, because Colton did not mind, for some reason, the arrogance, the confidence that he had walking throughout the castle. He did not mind putting his stuff out there and on the line. Okay? The way he talked to Lisa, I'll get us both out of here if it means to get you out of here, or whatever he said. The way that he came for Michael Rapaport, I want to be the reason that you're out of here. Like, child, the confidence, the arrogance that this man had walking out there, I definitely believe that Rob saw that, used it to his advantage, and was like, hey, yeah, okay, let me give you a wink. Okay? If you mention this person's name and I do this, then just know this, I'm with you. That's the traitor. Like, they definitely had some other type of communication going on. So the next one says, so, traitors. I hated to see Candiace go. She was so entertaining and brought a bit of seasoning to the show. And you know what? Can I say this too as well? You know, who I wish would have stayed a bit longer and would have also brought seasoning was Monét. I know Candiace wanted to, have the loyalty to the traitors and let Lisa know, hey, Monét said your name. He's kind of on to you. And she's doing what she's thinking she's supposed to do as a loyal traitor. But at the same time, I hate that. I kind of wish that Monét would have been able to stay longer. If there was anyone to return for the following season, I think I would want Monét to return for another season, similar to how they did Dorinda. And I actually would not mind if Porsha Williams also showed up. If they brought those two individuals back, because to get Porsha out in the second episode was crazy. Okay. But if they brought Monét and also brought Porsha back, I would so be here for that come next season. But y'all let me know your thoughts on that, right? But let's keep going. They said, I hated to see Candiace go. She was so entertaining and brought a bit of seasoning to the show. Seeing a lot of discussion about her gameplay versus Rob, I think she put a target on her back by not voting for Lisa and throwing out Rob's name. One of the advantages Rob had is that he had an alliance. In a perfect world, Candiace would have formed an alliance and been more loyal to her alliance than to the traitors. She was almost too loyal to the traitors until now. And I have to agree. I think Rob came into it knowing that at some point we're going to have to flip on each other. And at some point, I am going to need alliances outside of the traitors to believe that I am not a traitor in an effort to save their vote, right? To keep them from voting for me. But it also, to me, was easier for Rob to do that because everybody in the house is slobbering all over the damn man. Okay? Everybody wants a piece of Rob, throwing themselves. Maura saying, pick me up, I can't walk. And it's like, girl, we're not even going a full mile. It's just a few feet. Like, what are you doing? Okay? You even had Johnny like, oh my gosh, that man. And then this final episode with Kristen, acting as if Candiace didn't give them a whole lot to consider and think about, which is so crazy based on how this season is going, that she had to say, and she only gave us Rob, that poor, sweet, sweet man. Like, girl, what? Where is that coming from? You never did that with nobody else. And it really has to lend itself to attraction. That's what it really all boiled down to for me. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like Colton continued to stay around on the show. But yeah, I have to agree. I think that Candiace should have worked on other alliances outside that could have been a bit stronger. Like, yeah, she had Tara, she had Johnny, but I mean, she had Lisa. I guess at one point she probably thought that she automatically had Dorinda, considering the fact that she was a housewife. But she should have, did a little shaking and moving. Honestly, I thought it was a dead giveaway when she did that ironic, what was that little line dance that she had? Bump, 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 dun, bump, 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 dun. I thought that was a dead giveaway right there because I was like, Candiace, what are you doing? Okay. That's the reason that Rob, and it probably was the best thing that Rob got out. Okay. The first Rob, because he was good. I wouldn't mind seeing him back because he didn't last long either. But he was good. He was on the money. That man, he was so like always calculating. But next time, make him a traitor. Don't put him as a faithful, because if he goes into the show as a faithful next time, he's definitely going to be out. He's super great at how he processes and analyzes situations, it appears. So I think he should be a traitor next time. Okay, so there's that. All right. But I want to get into the next thing that someone says. They said if everyone voted for Candiace because of her quote unquote throwaway vote, and then she targeted Rob the next night, if that's suspicious, then they should know Rob is the other traitor. Otherwise, their reasoning for voting for her makes no sense, and I definitely agree, right? Everybody else can have throwaway votes, but once Candiace does it and she doubles down the next week, then it's a problem. They talked about her not being consistent when she made that vote last week, but it's like, guys, the people that Candiace was being consistent about, they were continuing to be a part of the group, right? So now that all the people she were consistent about are out of the house, it's time for her to choose someone else. Her consistency never necessarily aligned with the group at the round table. Her consistency relied on her own thoughts and how she felt, and she kept that consistent. And so for her to follow it up that very next week with Rob being consistent yet again, you guys pretty much act like, hey, we like Rob better than you. And how dare you put that on that sweet, sweet man? How dare you say Rob is a traitor? We believe that you're a traitor. And you know what? Colton said that you were a traitor. So, we're going to get your traitor butt out of here. And we're never even going to look over there in Rob's direction. But I hope to God at least 3 people next episode at least start to be on to Rob. Now, Rob may not get out next episode. However, can some people at least see through the BS that he has going on? Please, honey. And let's get to the last one where someone says 2 weeks ago, Rob made a quote unquote throwaway vote for Lisa. And the next night, he went hard to get Lisa banished. No one blinks an eye. Candiace makes a throwaway vote for Rob, and the next week goes hard for him. Everyone agrees that she is suspicious. The bias is loud this season. I can't do this show anymore, okay? Well, I'm going to continue to review the show, so you guys don't have to worry about that. But the bias is very, very loud because everybody in the house wants to jump the bones of Rob, and that is my personal, okay? Because that's what's going on. It makes no sense. Now I want to hop over here, and I want us to check out some of the things that Miss Candiace had to say during a sit down that she had over here on the Traitors podcast. So let us go ahead and let's check this out.
Miami, because the way I was so restrained, I wanted to cuss him into next Thursday.
When you're playing a game with someone and you're both doing cutthroat,
yes.
and then they're like,
just own it.
And then they're going, ew, you're being mean.
Right.
Why are you being mean to me?
Eat my shoe.
You don't find that you don't find that.
I don't agree. I think in that moment when he started that conversation, when he said, "I'm not going to come for you,"
he was lying.
Right?
He certainly was.
He may have been, or
he had already come for her.
Right.
He may not have been.
That's gonna mean now he had already came for her.
He did. He already went for her. Like, yeah, when he voted for Lisa the night before she was banished, and Candiace kind of threw those cookies at him or whatever the case was, and they talked about things, talked it out, and he told Lisa, hey, Colton is on to you or whatever. Oh, I want to murder him, but I can't murder him. It'll be too soon. It'll be too obvious, so I can't do that, right? Well, everything was good. The next night, he ended up getting Lisa out, right? He still went for Lisa. But afterwards, what happened? Before he even had a conversation with Candiace that I could recall, what did he say to Colton, Maura? After Colton mentions Candiace's name, because I do feel like he got it from Rob. Rob sat up there and what did he say? What do you guys think? Do you think it's possible that it could be a turret full of housewives? That right there was enough for me to know Rob was going to go after Candiace. So all of this talk about, he wasn't going to go after her, girl. Yes, he was. Sir, yes, he was. Okay. After they got Lisa banished and kicked the hell out, he was definitely going for her. Because as soon as Colton said Candiace's name, he didn't get it off of her. He didn't offer another name. He said nothing. But what he did say was, what if there was a turret full of housewives. What? He was definitely coming for her.
So
Rob from
you
Boston.
said he for sure. You
I know
gave
they have
your
more
hand
sense
to
of
Oh my
Right.
God, he
Goodness.
charmed you.
No, you gave.
Rob charmed you.
He got your ass too.
Oh
Where's
my
your snake
God.
bite? Show me your snake bite.
Rob has charmed you.
Wait, is it on
this
your wrist?
is crazy.
He got your neck. Where'd he get you?
Oh my God.
No, where he
I don't
Wait, listen, give me my Emmy because
Too
the
funny.
way
Up in the turret that night,
Ooh.
he knew. He knew that by letting you get Colton, he was going to be able to use it against you. Was that smart of him to let you get him out?
My one regret was not fighting harder to recruit that night.
Who'd you recruited?
Kristen.
Kristen. I mean, she's cold.
Interesting. I said that too. Didn't I say that? I said that in my review. First of all, she should have recruited, period. And I also felt like there were a few names that she could have recruited. I felt like you could have recruited Colton since he's throwing your name out there, then put him in a position to where he had to walk it back potentially. But I understand her not choosing Colton because then Rob would have somebody to take her out with, right? But he already had that whether the guy was in there or not. But she also could have got Johnny or she could have got Tara. But I also said Kristen because Kristen was very like, nobody, I feel like Kristen kind of coast similar to Eric. Nobody is saying their names. Nobody is even considering them or anything. And I think Kristen would have been a really, really, really good option. All right. For Candiace to have, because see, I think for Candiace to have on her team, and I feel like Kristen also may have some other alliances in the house where she, you know, could have had those people to kind of have the back of Candiace as well. So I think Kristen would have been good, but I'm glad to hear Candiace say that she should have recruited instead of murdered because that was the right way to go.
Old too.
I know.
She is the ice queen.
That's a bad lady.
Yeah.
I hope
love
she,
me some
if she wins, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if Kristen won or if Mark won the show or maybe even Steven.
Kristen.
Up in the turret that night,
Ooh.
he knew. He knew that by letting you get Colton, he was going to be able to use it against you. Was that smart of him to let you get him out?
My one regret was not fighting harder to recruit that night.
Who'd you recruited?
Kristen.
Kristen. I mean, she's cold too. This throwaway vote is the thing that ended up being your undoing. But no one can argue that Rob is very good. I gotta be honest, Rob might be the best trader who's been.
Take it back.
I mean,
I feel it.
he's bananas. He's not my favorite.
He's a rotten banana. Rob is smart at sniffing out the impressionable saints. Okay.
Yes.
And Colton was very impressionable. He was carrying Maura across thresholds all
Thank
over
you.
Scotland. Okay.
What's right now?
Thank you.
She was going to ride with him to the wheels fell off.
Yes, because she has no brain.
You speak ill of Rob, Maura will
she
put
is
an Irish
coming-
curse on you.
Listen,
she
she's
will
coming
river
with her
dance on your
daggers.
toes.
True.
Yeah, okay.
That is true. But I also think that like that's a sign of a good player that he was able to recognize the people that would follow.
Oh, he's
like
good.
sheep.
Oh, yes.
And
No
he's
one's arguing that.
He's
He's
got
great.
them. He's got Eric. He's got
Yeah, he
Mark.
had them all.
He's got them all.
This throwaway vote is the thing that
Yeah, so it's like I understand a lot of us don't like the decisions that Rob is making, but I think Rob is doing a pretty good job at the end of the day.
We're not going to turn on each other. I meant that.
So Rob votes Lisa, obviously. In that moment, did your emotions get the best of you voting for Rob?
It was a very conscious decision to say, oh, you want to play reindeer games? I'm fucking Rudolph, bitch. We can play games.
So
Candiace, won't you guide my slay tonight?
I think I know the answer to this question, but if you had to go back in that moment, would you have changed your vote and vote for anyone different?
No.
You wouldn't.
Because I don't like a snake. Don't fuck with me. We're not going to turn on each
I agree. So Candiace is saying that they did a handshake where they weren't going to turn on each other, and it looks like Rob may have broken that promise that they made. But yeah, I agree because for me, I don't think that was the issue doing the throwaway vote, right? I don't think that was a problem. I think Colton saying her name is what it was. I think Colton, because everybody followed whatever Colton said for the most part. From the very beginning, you know. But that's that, all right? I want you guys to leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'm sure there are going to be quite a few of you guys that disagree with me, so I welcome it. Leave it down below in the comments, all right? That's all that I have for you guys at this time. Of course, I am Jamie, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cash died at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL. Got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up. I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man? They say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film. I can